Okay, everyone. Still chewed up with COVID. But stuff is going to get destroyed outside, so I'm trying to bring a little bit of it in at a time. I'm just going to go through one little handful. So I've got a bin on the floor at my feet that's clean, and these sort of cheap semi-sleeves are all I've got to work with, and a handful of shellac that's in a grocery baggie that has no paper on it, because the paper, that just can't come in until it's really checked over. I think most of it's got dry rot and I don't want to bring it in. Thought I would dig through a little bit of them, and I did. I dug through about a 4-inch deep stack. Found this velvet tone disc, which was not a label that I was very familiar with, and it's unusual in that it's about 10 1/4 inches, so I was barely able to cram it into a bag. And a couple of Victor one-siders that predate the century, you know, they go to 1921 to 1918, I think. So that's kind of cool. Got a curiosity piece here, though I likely will not keep it. It's just going to go to the curb. It's a weight loss exercise program on a 78. Single-sided disc with a label on both sides. The other side, pretty much advertising matter for the program. On the label is all. But it's an interesting curiosity piece. I stand corrected. That Wallace weight-reducing record has sold only once on Discogs, the only one that was ever posted, but it fetched $30 on there, so it's in good shape. I'll go ahead and bag it up. Maybe it's something that can be flipped down the road, or I'll give it a listen first. But yeah, day 2 of sorting through the 78s, and I'm just doing another little 3 or 4 inch stack because I'm still not up to snuff, and I don't have the energy. So far I found one Vocalion on the brown shellac, so I always kind of grab those, but it's not a special one, it's military marches. And I found a Mario Lanza that's kind of intriguing. It's on a Victor from late 50s, but it's shellac, and it's the only instance I've seen where, like an EP, there's 2 songs on one side with a divided track, you know, just like you'd find on an EP or an LP. And then this turned up. This is very much like the Mickey Mouse records that I found a while back. It's a ball game with the scorecard down at the bottom, or on the flip side, auto races, and it's a game of chance for kids to play with a multi-groove. But it's Shellac 78 on a 10-inch disc. I've never seen one before, but all the details on how to operate it are there and everything. The disc is in great shape. The little book-like sleeve is intact, as you can see. I don't think there was anything more to it than this, so I'll set that aside, because that's a pretty neat little format weird thing. Got an Arthur Godfrey with the cordettes, as in Mr. Sandman. It seems to actually be in pretty good shape, so I'll bag that one up and give it a spin later on when I'm feeling more up to snuff. I'm going to be 100% honest. This video hopefully shouldn't run very long, even with me going onesie-twosie, showing off some specific things, because I'm keeping very little with the size of this stack. It's kind of like that massive pile of LPs I found, but I'll be keeping even less than that, because honestly, a lot of it's in really wretched condition, and a lot of it's polka, or just uninteresting, like the 7,000th copy of a Judy Garland or something. So most of it's going to go right to the curb, honestly. I might give it to charity, or see if somebody wants to maybe spare a couple of bucks to buy a big pile of them and try to make crafts out of them, but I don't know if they'll go, being shellac. They're so much more delicate than vinyl. I know people do that with vinyl. day 3 of the attempted sort through those 78s. I found a couple of swing things on Varsity that were okay. And this pressing on OK. Discogs list for between, you know, anywhere from $3 to $35, I guess. It's not in terrible shape. It's interesting in that it's someone who I guess was kind of ahead of her time. An orchestral band leader and full band, Ina Ray Hutton, and they were all women. So that is pretty awesome for something dating back to the late 20s, early 30s. I found a couple of instantaneous records of sorts that I haven't been able to sort out yet. One might be a test pressing of some kind, so I'm going to check that over because it's actually a shellac, but it's got a handwritten label, and see if I can figure out what it is. It's something that was made in the United Kingdom. And I'm going to step outside and try to peek through the rest of it very quickly so that I can get this video up tonight, because honestly I've already gone through well over half of this stuff, and I think I've found maybe 10 items, and the rest of it's going to the trash. It's just terrible. So I dug through the remainder of it and found a half dozen that were clean and in good shape that were potentially interesting. This is just a Victor Salon orchestra. So I figured it might be nice and generic and atmospheric, you know, like something out of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest or the background music in The Shining. So we'll hang out and I'll give it a listen. Much of the rest of these are things that I just grabbed because I could tell they're easily greater than a century old, even if not one-siders, so they'll be interesting to check out. That one's not. It's just a nice shape and had a pretty label, picture label, so strange title, Donald the Dub. So I figured check it out. And this one I'm going to look up right now because I'm not sure. Well, I finished my Shellac Sunday dig through, and somewhere in the neighborhood of probably about 450 to 550 records there. I came away with maybe 10. Was it worth it? Well, yeah, because I mean it was free, so no loss, nothing gained, nothing lost. I did find the one piece in there that I'll probably be able to sell for roughly 30 bucks. That was the weird weight loss record that of all things I thought was probably amongst the worst of the trash. And surprise, surprise, it's something that the series has interest in and has turned over typically. So that was not expected. The Shellac multi-groove gaming record was, for me, well worth it because I like strange bits, and so that was a nifty little find. Alright, so I'm going to go over the LPs real quick that I picked up. There are just 3, and all of them comedy related things. Nothing special. I don't think they have any high dollar value. I'm not familiar with this one, but it seems like it's sort of the party record type thing. It's from the Miami scene, nightclub circuit, and it's on the Chess label, so I thought that was kind of an interesting thing, so I picked it up. Woody Woodbury is sort of a local down here. He's still alive, I believe, and he lives in the area. He did very well in the club circuit scene in Miami and all the way up to areas like Juno Beach, and his material was kind of the drunkard type of shtick. Alright, and this one is just a really unusual piece of advertising matter where some real estate company actually hired Henny Youngman to promote their business by doing 20 minutes of one-liners about real estate and condos and condo associations and condo sales. and it takes up one side. The flip side is nothing. It's a one-sided LP with a bunch of ad matter for the publishing company, or the real estate company on the back of it. So I thought that was kind of strange. Side note on this for the exploitation B-movie film fanatics out there, that demonstrates to me that apparently he worked the scene quite a bit in Miami in the early 70s, and that might be why Herschel Gordon Lewis got him to do a full set in the middle of the movie The Gore Girls, which gave it a good 10 minutes of extra padding. Now this is the one record that's an instantaneous record. It says it's for home recording, but what I found puzzling about it is if you turn it sideways, there's no metal core there and no hole. This is like a vinylite kind of material. It feels almost like when the 70s rolled around and they started pressing Victor records on really ultra lightweight, I guess it was probably 120 gram or less, and they called it Dynaflex. It feels kind of like that, but apparently it's an individually lathed disc, so I want to look up more about it because I'm just not familiar with the process on it, and I might give the thing a spin too. Have to. Curiosity. Lastly, I'm entirely unsure about this. I mean, what you see there is all that I can see. It does have a trail off related number where it was actually created with a pressing plate. It's going to be blurry in this shot, but I'll dig it out and see if I can do some research on it online, find out what this is. I may have found a test pressing for something. It's two-sided, 10-inch. It is shellac, and it says made in England on it. Handwritten label on both sides. But yeah, it actually has a plate number in that trail off, so it's something. I don't know what, but it's something. So there you have it again for Shellac Sunday, this time around going through a rescue pile, and I think we started with somewhere between probably 450, 550 records. There is what my estimate on it is now, and it came down to just a dozen or so. Out of it, I did get that neat little multi-groove kids record that's race cars on one side, baseball on the other, and these couple of mystery pieces and the Henny Youngman thing. And I paid, 10 cents a piece for the 3 LPs. So actually I just gave the guy $1, rounded it up, and told him, thank you, and picked up a couple of rock and roll singles while I was there, but nothing special. Anyway, that's it. So again, just don't reject free, because if nothing else, you come away with one interesting find out of the lot, even if the rest of it has got silverfish or whatever and has to go to the curb. You never know what you might find. Wait! Mystery record solved. The mystery record is Your Heart Skips a Beat and Souvenir of Love by popular British actress Jessie Matthews. This was recorded in 1938 and pressed by the Decca label, and this is the final label in that UK press. I'll call it a big win after all. My very first 78 RPM test pressing. Because I'm low energy, I was ready to close the video, and I figured, well, that's it. This time it was a dud. So, surprise ending for you and me. Thanks for hanging out with me on Weird Spins. Don't turn down free. See you again real soon.